First of all, thank you very much for inviting me here at Kansas State University and asking these questions. And to me, I think that's an important question. And before I try to give you those answers, I would like to tell you an experience that I had at a pastoral Maya event here in the United States. I was given a speech to this big audience, and most of them Mayas, of course. All of a sudden, I see this lady crying during my speech, and I was like, wow, what's going on with this lady, no? But I was like kind of couldn't understand, and I just couldn't wait until I finished the conversation and speak to the lady. But after the conference, I approached her and asked her what was going on, and then she just like hugged me in tears, and then I felt like she felt for the first time that someone was speaking her own language. Someone on stage was using the language, the only language that she knows. She didn't speak that much Spanish, not even English. And for her, this language is the only language that she knows that's been around for thousands and thousands of years. That's a language that she was passed on through her by her grandparents and great-great-grandparents. And then even now, everything she does revolves in her own language. She has her own spirituality, and the only language that she uses is that Mayan language. Everything around her world is like when she speaks, I mean, to the sky, to the plants, to the animals, and to the rocks, and to even her children. That's the only language that she uses. So for her, seeing someone speaking on stage, like that's the first time that someone values her own language. Someone that values it, and then for her at that moment, she felt like attached with her spirituality, with her language, and with her own culture. And I think that's one of the reasons that we are doing this conference, and that's one of the reasons that we're bringing these languages, not only to the children, not only to the schools, but also to the older generation in the United States. Well, I think I haven't been living in Guatemala for the last 20 years, but by recalling my memories when I grew up, yes, I think the Maya children that attended those schools back then, we used to be shy about speaking our own language in schools or in public, because for us that's a sign of rejection, of discrimination. So back then we were kind of afraid to use our own language or use our own Guatemalan or Mayan clothes. And yes, back then, as of right now, I think they're still going on. I would lie if I say we don't see that anymore in Guatemala. I think it's still going on. But yes, I mean, but here in the United States, I think that's why I think the next generation in the United States, when they hear someone speaking their language, they don't see it as a kind of discrimination against them or their language, but they want to learn it. They appreciate it. And that's why a lot of these kids, they go to Guatemala sometimes during the summer and want to learn the language, the beauty of the language. And also there's an effort here in the United States by teaching these Mayan languages to these children over here. And they feel like their language here in this country, they're being much respected and valued. As of Guatemala, I hope they still value it too and embrace it in Guatemala. I hope so. But not when I grew up. That wasn't the case. It is that's a hard question. Yeah, I would say that right now, I mean, working with high school students, Maya American children. Some of them, they just like wanted to go back and learn the language that they hear their parents are speaking, and they want to learn that. And some of them, they like going during the summer to Guatemala and learn some of those languages. So it's kind of interesting. At this point, I think it's so early to say that they might die, the languages. I don't know about that, but as in the case of Guatemala, right now, I mean, in the indigenous communities, a lot of the education system is bilingual. I'm talking about the indigenous schools, where they offer classes in their own language first and then Spanish. But here in the United States, I think it will be up to this second generation of Maya Americans to see how far they're going to go and keep that language. I don't know. I hope they keep it and they don't lose it. Well, I think if we go back to the writings of our ancestors. And in the Popol Vuh, they mentioned that 2012 was going to be a new era. That's going to be the end of our millennium, I mean, thousands of years calendar. There's going to be a new one. But according to them, that at that time, there's going to be a new era of more people embracing this culture, embracing their language, embracing their spirituality. So I think there's the next generation of Maya, especially here in the United States, there's this like kind of curiosity and hunger for wanting to know more of their culture and wanting to know more of their language. So how long it's going to last, I don't know. I think it's up to them, but I'm really positive and optimistic that these children will value it from now on. Mm-hmm.